Welcome back to another video. Today I'm discussing the least successful major villain in the big three. I probably am going to do Dragon Ball in a separate video. I could have included Dragon Ball in this and the most successful video. Would have made it longer, but I don't think I was going to do all of that. Now, of course, I'm going to say major villain because any villain that we are introduced to, like Arlong, who came in for the first couple of episodes, who got more expose later on, I'm not going to count him, nor will I count anybody, whoever Naruto first villain was with Iruka. I'm forgetting the guy's name, who was a little jonin at the, was he a jonin? I'll say a jonin at the time. So I don't remember that. Like Zabuza, I wouldn't count. Zabuza, Haku, Kimimaru with the sound 4. Even I just can't count that in terms of the success rate for Naruto, because those were small time villains, not overarching villains. Especially, I'm not even going to say even Orochimaru, as he's a driving force and a driving factor for Sasuke being an antagonist, especially in Shippuden. It's just Orochimaru barely does stuff to Naruto. So gratefully, he was there for Sasuke. He wanted to manipulate and get Sasuke's body and also kill the third in the process. That's more towards the driving factor of putting Sasuke on the dark side. Most of anything, Orochimaru barely does evil things to the leaf outside of, you know, the third Hokage's death. So I just wanted to make those rules simply clear. I'm going to look at the overarching villains just because if I did every single villain, one, I would make a tier list video just because it probably would be better that way. Two, that video would be 30 to 40 minutes long. And who wants to stay here for that? I got work in the morning. It's 11 o'clock at night. Next just one though. So big ups to that. Anyway, the least successful, well, it's up to 3 major people. At least it came down to three major people for me. It would be Yuha, Obito, in terms of what his ultimate goal was. What it was manipulated into him thinking that was his goal, but it was Madara's goal. Then it turned into Black Zetsu's goal. So it was all manipulation or gaslighting at the end of the day. In One Piece, the least successful villain for One Piece maybe would have been Dofi, but Dofi already had a criminal empire, so when Luffy and Law came to stop him, they just tore everything down, and Dofi is still alive, kicking and running. He's just impaled down. And you can't really even say the Marines. They're just doing their job. For example, Akainu may have killed Ace. He's not really the overarching villain. Kaido was the more successful villain as he killed Luffy 3 times. Just Luffy kept coming back because, of course, Luffy's the MC. Mihawk's not a villain. It's just sort of an opposer to Zoro. Big Mom was cool. Even Big Mom, I don't think Luffy has fought Big Mom, and I don't think Big Mom eventually died to Law and Kid. So, you know. So I wouldn't even say any of the One Piece villains have been really, like, their goals weren't horrendous. Most of the One Piece villains that you meet are achieving their goal or still are after the One Piece, and it's just in direct conflict to Luffy's goal. So it's ultimately it's the good thing. And Blackbeard isn't the least successful. You could hear what I said about Blackbeard in my last video if I show it at the end of this video. I think I still do. I have to check if I still do. It should be in every video where my former videos pop up. Anyway, it should be in a playlist. But the least successful villain is, I think, Obito. Gotta be Obito. Because when I'm thinking of Bleach and Yuha's plan has been magnificent and has followed through in certain steps. Of course, he couldn't see everything coming. Yes, he can see the future, but he didn't see Utake's sacrifice to keep the Soul King propped up for at least a little bit of time. Uryu's betrayal at the end of the day. you know, a lot of things he tried to see coming, especially, but he knew that there's a plethora of things that could have gone wrong. He even named the 5 war powers that could oppose him and upset his plans. So Yuha knew what could have gone wrong. Obito doesn't really have success because he really doesn't have a goal. What I mean, when Obito, of course, loses Renin, he's impressed on by Madara. Everything that Obito does, he takes on the will of Madara, which, I mean, is the point. Outside of killing, Minato and trying to take the 9 tails for himself, yeah. What else does he do? He doesn't successfully kill Kakashi in any regards. He eventually has a turn of heart after, Madara backstabs him and he figures out that he was used all this time. 3, he got to live with Ren, so I guess that is successful in the afterlife, however that works in Naruto. But outside of all that, he doesn't have his own goal. He is manipulated. But then I'm thinking of like Pain, because Pain's goal, at least for the original Akatsuki, before Obito manipulated Pain or Nagato, was to bring peace and prosperity to the Rain Village and hopefully prop up the Rain Village, get help, and make the Rain Village as safe as possible. As we know, the Rain Village is run by pirates and, even in Boruto, desolate. So he tried to get help in that way. But of course, with Yahiko's death, it just sent him down a dark path and wanted the world to know Pain. So even in that sort of stance, I would say he's unsuccessful because, I mean, Pain didn't get the 9 tails, but the Akatsuki as a group were successful as they gained most of the tailed beasts. So it's kind of weird. But Yahiko, Nagato, Conan's original plan, that was a fail. So I guess it could be them. But at that point in time, they weren't villains. At least the original Akatsuki wasn't supposed to be in a villain group. When Obito came into play, that's when it became a villain group. So yeah, it'd be Obito, because Madara took on because Obito didn't even get the full 10 tails. Madara did. Obito didn't get all the broken hacks. Madara did. Madara outclassed Obito in all regards when it came to Jubito, to Jubidara, to even being betrayed by Zetsu. And I think, well, you have to see the last video, who I think was the most successful. Obito was the least, because everything went wrong for him. He wasn't defeated by plot or by story or by any means. Man just got used and abused. Come on now. Anyway, like, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Of course, if you want to name a small time villain that was like, I guess, the least successful or just had the shortest screen time in the big 3, you let me know. It's just, for me, I gotta give it to Obito. Anyway, peace out.